A year and a half ago, I made this video on Havok F.P.C, and I asked in that one if I should make a tutorial on the slabriff that they play. And since people keep asking me about it, here I am, a year and a half later, regretting everything. I know I told a couple times like, oh, I'll do it, fine, I'll do it, it'll be out in tomorrow or something. But then I wanted to, and I just nothing came out of my mouth because I'm super scared of talking into a camera. Super cool riff, right? If I slap in a thrash metal band. Let's start by detuning actually, because this song isn't in E standard. It's actually in E flat. So I don't think I can tune while recording this, and actually it's not even E flat standard in standard tuning. It's actually at 432 hertz, because using regular frequencies, that's conformist. That's for the people who follow the system. It actually sounds pretty sick. I'm only gonna do the slap riff because doing the whole song just takes long, and it's the first time I'm doing a tutorial, so I don't wanna mess things up too early. Alright, so this is the first part. Just gonna play it slowly. So it's a thumb down on the E string. I'm just gonna call them by what they normally are. You thumb down, and then you stop. And then you have a dead note, which you do by hovering your fingers over the strings but not pressing them down. So you and then you pull the D string and do a hammer on the second fret of that string. So you get this. And after that you thumb the E string twice again. After you play this first part, the E string is still gonna be ringing, and then you hammer down on the third fret of the E string that you just thumbed, which is G, and then you thumb it again. So you get kind of the sense you're playing it twice, but you're only thumbing it once. You see? And after that, you're gonna use these two fingers to pull the D string and the G string in succession with each other. So you kind of have to practice this rolling motion of plucking with both your index finger and your middle finger, because it can be pretty confusing when you're not using something like that. So let's play to the part where we are now. See, you keep them ringing because after this you're gonna hammer on the second fret of the D string and then the fourth fret of the G string. So you get this fifth interval shape in your fingers. And that's why you keep the strings ringing after you pluck them, because it's easier to hammer on a string that's already moving. And the same goes for the next part, which where you have to tap these notes over here. It's easier when the string's already moving, because then you only have to add motion to the string instead of initiating it. So it's gonna sound like this. After you do these hammer-ons, you're gonna tap an octave higher, which is the 14th fret on the D string and the 16th fret on the G string. That's basically the first part of this riff. So the section after that goes like this, which is starts with an open E, and then you hammer on the first fret of that E. Then you get a dead note, and then you pull the D string, and then you hammer on the 3rd fret of that D string. And after you get a dead note again, and then you repeat it just one time. And after that, you pull the G string, hammer on the 1st fret of the G string. You can either pull or thumb the D string. I think I do a thumb there. And then you hammer on the 3rd fret again. So that's how the entire thing goes. And then you just repeat the first riff again, except for the last 2 notes that you tap. So you just keep everything you do over here exactly the same as the first time you do it, except when you tap them, you don't put an octave above. My camera's falling over. God damn it. Can you tell it's homemade? I'm not a professional at doing this. But you want to learn this. So just keep your criticism. Alright? This is the first time I'm doing it. Okay, so instead of you tapping the 14th and 16th, you keep the same 5th interval and just move it up to, I think it's 14, 15, 17 and 19. So these ones over here. After that you have a section that sounds kind of similar to the second one, but it's a little bit different. So it starts the same with an open E and then a hammer on the F and then a dead note, and then again the pull on the D string and then hammer on the 3rd fret. You only do it once this time. So the first one is right, but this time it's just one time. Then you get this part where you pull the G string, hammer on the 5th, pull them again, and hammer on the 4th. I hope I can edit that all together in a way that it kind of flows and makes a little bit more sense. Cause oh boy. Alright, so that's just the whole riff done in notes. I've also tapped it out, so if you need help following, I'm gonna just leave it like in a link somewhere if I can figure it out. So it's basically done, but I want to talk about something which is, if you struggle with the tapping part of this, because that's honestly the most difficult to get down. Like when I learned this riff, I never tapped anything before, and then it's also integrated with this kind of complicated slap riff, so it's give you some trouble. So I'm gonna give you a few tips when practicing this. I already said that it's easier to add motion to a moving string. So, and you practice this, just I recommend doing that part just over and over. And also, I think at first it really helps just really smash down on those notes, like way harder than is even necessary. But it kind of gives you a sense of how hard you have to push them down. And also, now I did the sections separated, but in reality it's just going bam, bam, bam after each other, right? So that slap after you did the taps is just immediately after. So you don't have time to move your thumb back to the start of the fingerboard. So you can just slap it right over here. Just thumb the string at the place where you're tapping them. And while you're doing the hammer on, you can move your hand back. Are there any other things that are difficult about this? No. Just the tapping, I think. Getting that down and you're basically set, and then the transition to the chorus. Alright, that's basically it. I hope this helped. It's pretty fun to play, so absolute dread having to edit this and listening to my stupid Dutch accent, trying to formulate words and in ways that don't make sense in English. I hope you're happy with yourself, having to torture me like this. Thank you. Goodbye.